What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the First Presbyterian Church YouTube channel. This is your Saturday sermon preview. Today is Saturday, September. What am I even talking about? Saturday, May 29th, right? And we're going to worship tomorrow. Why would I say it's September? Something happened in the last 15 minutes and I said the word September. Doesn't matter. Sermon preview time. Thanks for tuning in. So tomorrow is on the liturgical calendar, the Sunday called Trinity Sunday. This is where we remember and celebrate the triune nature of God. So the text that I chose for tomorrow is a long one. Just going to warn you. It's a long one. So long that I thought, and I said to Lexi, maybe I'll shorten it, or maybe I shouldn't read the whole thing. And she said, why? Why would you do that? It's good. Just read the whole thing. So there we go. You should know, even for preachers or people who are great at public speaking or confident when they speak publicly, reading a lot in front of people, it feels different than just speaking. And so it can be a little nerve-wracking for me reading a long passage. Anyway, we're going to do it. John chapter 3, verses 1 through 21. This is the John 3, 1 through 21. It's the scene where Nicodemus comes to visit Jesus at night and asks him questions. Nicodemus was a Pharisee, a scholar, a teacher of Jewish law, and had been listening to Jesus, apparently, had been following him around a little bit and was curious about some of the things that he'd been saying, and so came to visit Jesus to ask those questions. And it's one of my favorite stories in the Gospels for lots of reasons. But we're going to read the whole scene where Jesus and Nicodemus are together, and how that conversation goes. In this scene, we have the famous John 3:16 and 17 verses. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes him would not die but have everlasting life. For God did not send his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world might be saved through him. Those words from Jesus are part of this conversation he's having with Nicodemus. So that's our text for tomorrow. And remember, Trinity Sundays. So we're looking at this text in light of the Trinity, or I should say, we're looking at the Trinity in light of this text, or put it however you want. But the Trinity is going to kind of be our focus tomorrow, in a way, definitely. You may remember me saying in time with young churches in the past that the Trinity's funny because it's central to our faith. We confess to believe in it. We know how important it is to our lives as followers of Christ. But then so many of us were taught at some point that it's also not something that we can ever understand, so don't even bother trying to understand it. So it's very important. It's critical to your faith and your understanding of God and the relationship between God and the world and our relationship with one another, but it's so complicated, so forget it. Don't even try to understand it. And I don't think that's what we teach our kids at First Pres, but it's a tough one to nail down. And there's so much that could be said about it. Obviously, there have been many, many books written about it. So when you put the Trinity together as a topic with this huge passage from John 3, and I think I mentioned this in the sermon, you could preach 1,000 sermons on these topics, this text, the Trinity. I mean, you could just, and the temptation is to try to cram everything all into one sermon, because there's so much to be said about Jesus and Nicodemus and everything that's going on under the surface and the Trinity and the history there and yada, yada, yada. You could cram it all in there. Try your best, but it would be impossible to listen to. And so we're not doing that. What I'm really trying to do is deliver one succinct message, looking at this text in John 3 and considering the Trinity. One succinct message, one clear, concise, controlling idea for the sermon for tomorrow. And hopefully, with the help of the Spirit, it comes through. Y'all know that we're gearing up for sabbatical. So we've got, here comes the boy now. We've got laundry everywhere. We were trying to pack and get things organized. We're leaving Wednesday morning. Very excited. I really appreciate everybody's love and support as we head off into this new adventure for the next few months. Looking forward to seeing lots of you tomorrow. Looking forward to worshiping together. Grace and peace, and we will see you next time.